Hello?
Hello po.
Okay. So, excited na ba kayo to start?
Yes po,
Yes
sir.
po.
Okay. Kumain na po ba kayo?
Yes po.
Opo.
Okay. Kasi we will have computation, no? So, expected na kahit pa paano magkakaroon tayo ng computation. So, at least you have eat your dinner first. Okay? So, hintay lang tayo ng onti sa iba, no? If you have concern, no, just message on the chat box. Invitation parang hindi muna, no? Kasi may mga hinihintay tayo na participants kung sakaling matutuloy sila. But have you seen the new registration link, class, for tomorrow's live webinar? Okay. Register po kayo dyan, no? Kasi dyan na tayo magbe-base ng mga participants for tomorrow's discussion. So, dun po tayo mag-register. Okay? Malinaw po? Naririnig po ako?
Malinaw po, sir.
Okay.
Sir, may bago pong link for bukas po.
Yes. Wait for another email. Then, yun yung bagong link na i-click nyo to join the Google Meet. For
Noted
tomorrow's
po,
yun.
sir.
That is for tomorrow. Okay? Meron pa kayang darating? By the way, naka-live tayo sa Facebook ngayon, ha? Have you noticed?
Hindi po, sir. Ngayon ko lang po nalaman na live.
Live tayo, okay? So, pag may concern, ha, just comment. No? So, 2 minutes to go. Let's start, no? After 2 minutes, we will start. Okay? From time to time, no, as I discussed, you may ask. No? If you have question, you may comment that in the chat box, okay? Okay po? Okay.
Okay po,
Yes po, sir. Noted po.
So, 1 minute, no? And we will start. So, sana makahabol pa yung iba. So, again, no? Kung may question, during my discussion, or just raise it in our chat box, okay? So, okay, so we will start. So, I will first, share to you my PowerPoint for today's discussion. So, let me know if you can see it. Nakikita po ba?
Nakikita po, sir.
Nakikita?
Yes po.
Okay, okay. Babalik ko lang.
Yes po.
Okay. So, hi class. Welcome to our first day of 5 days free live webinar series. So, our topic for discussion in basic accounting is all about accounting cycle, step 5, prepare, adjusting entries. Game? Okay, game.
Po.
So, first and foremost, this is my question. No? Why we need to prepare adjusting entries? Bakit po kailangan natin mag-prepare ng adjusting entries?
Gawa po, sir, may iba pong account titles na na-understate or na-overstate po.
Yes, that's one of the reason, no? Pero, ganito na lang. Nakakasiguro ba tayo na yung journal entries at posting process na ginawa natin sa ledger ay tama? Hindi, di ba? Hindi porket balanse tayo sa trial balance, okay na. Tama na tayo. Pwede kasing balanse nga ang trial balance natin, yung journal entries natin mali pala. Yung expense na ni-record natin dapat asset pala. Tama? O di kaya, yung account titles natin na nagamit, tama naman, pero with regards to the amount, mali tayo. For example, instead na 10,000, dapat pala 100,000. Agree po? May mga ganun tayong senaryo.
Agree po, sir.
At hindi porket balance tayo sa trial balance, complete.
Yes po.
Okay. Hindi porket balance tayo sa trial balance, kumpleto na yung mga accountable transaction na dapat nating mai-record sa libro. Tama? And because of that, we need to prepare adjustment. We need to prepare adjusting entries. Tama? Agree po? Okay.
Agree po, sir.
Prepare adjusting entries. Ang sabi, in this step, we correct and update ledger account balances to align with the requirements of accounting frameworks. Okay. Technically speaking, class, itong adjusting entries are journal entries. Okay? Di ba kayo nagtataka? May naririnig kayong adjusting entries, closing entries, reversing entries, tama? Pero technically speaking, adjusting entries are journal entries din. Bakit? Kasi simply because we record this in the general journal. Tama? Kasi doon natin siya nire-record. That's why, technically speaking, journal entries din to. Then right after, ipopost mo din yan sa respective ledger accounts. Tama? Now, kaya siya tinawag na adjusting entries kasi may babaguhin tayo. May i-adjust. Bakit? Kasi previously nga, may incorrect journal entries tayong ginawa. Bukod doon, hindi pa kumpleto at accurate yung mga records natin sa libro to align what the accounting frameworks require. Siguro ang tanong nyo, sir, ano po ba yung accounting frameworks? Okay, bigyan ko lang kayo ng konting idea, no? These are simply standards or basis on what information needs to be determined and how it will be prepared and presented into financial statements. Okay? Sir, bakit ba kailangan sumunod sa mga accounting standards na to? Kasi the very objective is to prepare reliable and fair information or financial statements to the users. 'Di ba? Ayaw kasi ng standards na pagkaharap mo si supplier or lender, malaki yung cash mo, then maliit yung liabilities mo. At ayaw din ng standard na pag si investor ang kaharap mo, marami kang assets o malaki ang income mo. O kaya pagkaharap mo si government, wala kang kita, puro net loss ka. Tama? Ang gusto kasi ng standards na gawin natin ay i-prepare at i-present yung mga information about the company ng tama at kung ano ang dapat. Maliwanag po yun? Okay.
Maliwanag po, sir.
If you have question, no? Again, just comment on the chat box. Okay. Meron tayong accounting frameworks na tinatawag. Most commonly, ito nga yung GAAP, US GAAP, or Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. Again, this is set of rules, procedures, or guidelines for financial statements preparation and reporting, which is used by the United States, okay, from this acronym na US. And then we have another framework, which is the IFRS, or International Financial Reporting Standards. Old term for that is IAS, International Accounting Standards. Anyway, this IFRS is a set of principles, assumptions, interpretations, or pronouncement for financial preparation and reporting also. Okay? This is originated from European countries, which is adopted also by many countries in Asia and South America, but not in the United States. Siyempre, may pinagkaiba tong dalawang to, yung GAAP at IFRS. GAAP is rule-based, no? Rule-based to, medyo may pagka-specific. Unlike sa IFRS, principle-based siya, broad, mas malawak at pwede siyang i-interpret at i-apply as fit to other countries. That's why IFRS is what we adopt here in our country, no? I don't know, no? Siguro may mga accountancy students na nanonood ngayon or part ng natin, Google Meet. So, medyo familiar sila dito. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na PFRS, or Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. Old term for that, PAS naman, or Philippine Accounting Standards. By the way, we will not elaborate this since we will discuss it in intermediate accounting soon. Okay? Now, as we connect to these adjusting entries, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na mga principles under this previously discussed accounting frameworks. Okay? Isa sa alam nyo na ay yung accrual principle, tama ba? Yung accrual basis of accounting. Alam nyo na po yun, tama?
Opo.
Okay.
Yes po.
Ito yung revenue is recognized when earned, regardless when cash is received. Okay? And expenses is recognized when incurred, regardless when cash is paid. Okay? Okay na tayo dito. Merong kapatid yan. Yung principle na kung tawagin, matching principle. This principle states that expenses are recognized in the income statement in the same period where connected revenues are earned. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi nating revenues comes from expenses. Hindi naman tayo kikita kung wala tayong ginagastos. Okay? Palaging match ang dalawa na yan. Okay? Then meron tayong tinatawag na time period principle. Accounting information or financial statements should be prepared and reported appropriately to a specific accounting period. Sabi nga natin dati, if you watch my tutorial videos in YouTube, dapat, accounting period can be monthly, quarterly, or annually. Tama? So as we tackle adjusting entries, dapat alam natin saan kabilang na accounting period yung mga adjustments na gagawin. Kumbaga, alam natin kung ano yung cut-off period natin. Okay? So, meron din tayong principle of conservatism. This principle states on how we should judge and record items based on estimates. So, mamaya, ma-appreciate natin yan. And last, cost principle. This principle states that assets are recorded at historical cost. Okay? We will not go further on this class, no? since ang focus natin is to mainly discuss adjusting items. Okay? So again, class, adjusting entries are made at the end of accounting period to correct any incorrect entries and at the same time to ensure accuracy of valuation of the elements of financial statements. Ano-ano nga ulit yon? Yung assets, liability, equity, revenue, and expenses. Or simply, ALEREX. Okay? Pero ang tanong talaga dito, ano-ano ba ang mga dapat nating i-adjust? Okay? What are the common adjusting items that needs to be done? So, ito po yun. We have bad debts or can be called as doubtful accounts, then depreciation, accrued income, accrued expense, deferred income, and prepaid expense. And number 7, nakikita nyo? May number 7? Wala pong number 7 dyan. Pero meron tayong number 7. Hindi ko lang sinulat dito. And that number 7 is merchandise inventory. We will defer the discussion of that last adjusting item, merchandise inventory. Sasama natin yan as we go with the accounting for merchandising in my upcoming tutorials. Okay, so abangan nyo yun. So what we will be discussing are the first 6 items. Ito. So ano-ano nga ulit yon? Bad debts, depreciation, accrued income, accrued expense, deferred income, prepaid expense. Okay? Para madaling tandaan, lagyan natin ng acronym or mnemonics. Tawagin nating BIDA PAD. Pwede ba yon? BIDA PAD. What are the adjusting items? BIDA PAD. Bad debts, depreciation, accrued income, prepaid expense, accrued expense, deferred income. BIDA PAD. Okay? Clear po ba?
Clear po.
Okay. May tanong po ba? Okay. Pag may tanong, just raise on the chat box. Okay? So kung wala, diretso tayo. Okay. Bad debts. So first in the list, bad debts or doubtful accounts. Okay? This is an expense recognized in relation to estimated amount of uncollectible accounts. Ganito kasi yan. Ano ba ang gusto ng business? Mataas na sales o mababa?
Mataas na sales po.
Siyempre, mataas. Tama? Okay? Alam natin na hindi lahat ng customer kayang magbayad agad-agad. Tama? Kaya businesses provide their service or products to customer in a credit term option. Tama? Pinapautang nila muna. Pero ano ang pinaka-objective? Siyempre, pataasin ang benta nila. Kaya pumapayag ang business sa ganong transaction na kahit utang muna ni customer yon, which is liability ng customer, then receivable ng company. Tama? And because of that scenario, may credit risk. Okay? Risk na hindi makolekta ng business yung utang ni customer. So that's why it is proper to recognize estimated expense out of their customer accounts. Estimated expense or loss of the probable uncollectible receivables. Correct? Tama po?
Tama po.
Now,
Opo.
if you have question, just raise. Sorry. We have 2 methods in accounting for bad debts or doubtful accounts. Number 1, direct write-off method. And number 2, allowance method. Direct write-off method, under this method, bad debts expense is recognized only when the account's receivable is certain or proven to be uncollectible. Okay? Ang tanong mo, sir, paano malalaman na certain uncollectible na yung receivable? Kumbaga hindi na talaga makukolekta. Okay? Anyone? Paano mo malalaman na proven uncollectible na yun? Anyone? Anyone po? Okay, ako na lang. Proven uncollectible na yan once na nag-declare na ng bankruptcy o pagkalugi yung customer mo. Tama? Kapag ganun, it is proper to recognize the bad debt expense as direct write-off. Meaning, offset, no? Bawas na diretso sa accounts receivable ng business. Kasi nga, di na talaga makokolekta yun. Okay? Yun yung sa direct write-off method. Now, sa allowance method, basically, what we do is we estimate the bad debts. Okay? There's a rate or percentage to be multiplied based on the sales or revenues or on outstanding accounts receivable or based on the aging of the accounts receivable. Okay? Sir, question, who determines the rate? Di ba sabi mo po, nag-estimate tayo, then we have that rate na i-multiply natin sa revenues, sa outstanding accounts receivable, or based on the aging of accounts receivable. Pero, sir, who determines the rate? Answer, the management o the owner. But of course, it can be done with the help of expertise. Ngayon, yung expertise na yon, maaring expert na part ng company mismo, kumbaga empleyado nila. O di kaya kukuha ang management ng expert externally outside the company. Okay? Then the management will set whatever the rate that will be determined as part of its business policy. Okay? Follow-up question, sir. Paano na-determine yung rate? Okay? The rate is determined through past experience of the company. Halimbawa, napansin ng management na in every 100,000 na accounts receivable nila sa customer, out of that, 5,000 yung hindi nakokolekta. Tama? And that is consistent for the past 2 years of operation ng business. So the management decided to establish 5% rate as their provision for bad debts or doubtful accounts. Paano nakuha yun, sir? 5,000 divided by 100,000 equals 0.05 or 5%. Tama ba? Tama po? Malinaw? Okay. Between the two, this is my question, no? Between the two, what the accounting standard prescribed to use?
Allowance method.
Okay, that's correct. Allowance method. Okay? Kasi daw, yung direct write-off method, no, ito daw, violates the matching principle. Yung nabanggit ko kanina, na ang sabi sa matching principle, expenses recognized in the same period where its related revenue is recognized. Kumbaga, match dapat. Okay, let's have scenario so you can figure out. Okay? Okay. In year 2019, okay? 2019, last year, may customer ka. Nakapag-render ka ng service sa kanya on account. Okay? So, hindi pa siya nagbayad. So, receivable mo yon, tama? Now, this year, 2020, declared bankrupt na yung customer. Kasi baon na siya sa utang, tapos wala na rin siya mga natitirang asset to pay his creditors, including you. Okay? So, anong gagawin mo? If you use direct write-off method, di ba? Recognize mo siya as expense. Then, offset mo against the accounts receivable. Tama? Tama? Okay.
Opo, tama po.
Kailan mo in-expense? 2019, 2020?
2020?
2020. Kasi kailan na-declare as bankrupt yung customer?
2020 po.
2020. Tama ba?
Opo.
So, on the year 2020, proven na uncollectible na yung account mo na yon sa kanya. Okay? So, this year lang na-recognize yung expense, 2020. Pero yung related revenue mo dyan, kailan mo na-declare? Nung 2019 pa. Diba? Sabi natin kanina, 2019 ka pa nakapag-render ng service sa customer na yan. Therefore, yung revenue mo, na-declare mo for 2019. But then, yung related expense niya, kailan mo na-declare? 2020. Kasi dun mo nga lang na-prove na uncollectible na yan sa customer mo. Tama? di ba pag matching principle, expense should be recognized in the same period where its related revenue is recognized. Tama? And for that reason, direct write-off method is suggested not to be used kasi it violates the matching principle. Unlike the allowance method, it adheres to matching principle kasi may estimation of bad debts na ginagawa to match on its related revenue item. Okay? At dahil dyan, allowance method tayo magfo-focus. Pero mamaya we will have illustration for both methods. Okay? So, okay. Gusto ko, ito, nakikita niyo itong screen? Nakikita niyo?
Nakikita po.
Okay. So, gusto ko maging familiarize kayo dyan, no? Okay, yan. Kung mapapansin nyo, pag sa direct write-off method, pag doubtful pa lang, no? Pag doubtful pa lang, walang journal entries. Tama? Kasi nga, di ba, duda pa lang kung makokolekta o hindi. Remember, pag direct write-off method, pag proven na hindi mo na makokolekta, doon ka lang magre-recognize ng bad debts. Dito, doubtful ka pa lang eh. So, sa direct write-off method, wala yan. No journal entry. Tama? Tama? Now, pag bankrupt na si customer, proven worthless na yung account mo sa kanya, that's the time na magre-recognize ka ng bad debt expense. Then, direct ang bawas sa accounts receivable. Debit, bad debt expense, and credit accounts receivable. Nag-debit tayo ng expense to increase it. Then, nag-credit tayo ng accounts receivable to show na nabawasan yung receivable natin. Okay? So, next. Now, just in case yung dati nating ni-write off, nakolekta daw natin. No? So, anong gagawin natin? I-reverse lang natin yung entry natin. So, ito. Kung mapapansin nyo, pagdating dito, nung nakolekta na natin, kasi previously, ni-recognize natin as wala na eh. Then, bigla nating na-recover all of a sudden. Tama? So, ibalik natin yung entry. So, from this, binaliktad lang natin yung entry pagdating dito nung na-recover na natin. Tama? So, binalik natin, nag-debit tayo ng accounts receivable, then nag-credit tayo ng bad debts expense. And to show na nakolekta natin, of course, dapat tumaas yung cash. That's why we debit cash. And then since nakakolekta tayo, we credit accounts receivable. Okay? So, familiarize with this class. Okay? Question? Wala. So, doon naman tayo sa allowance method. Paano naman yung scenario pagdating sa kanya? So, kung mapapansin nyo, medyo may pagkakaiba sila. When account is doubtful to be collected, nagre-recognize na agad tayo ng bad debts expense. Tama? And at the same time, allowance for bad debts. Then, pag proven or certain to be worthless, ang debit natin, allowance for bad debts. Then, credit natin, accounts receivable. Okay? Doon sa direct write-off method, dito nagre-recognize tayo ng bad debts expense eh. Pero dito, allowance for bad debts. Okay? Then, pagdating naman sa when account previously written off was recovered, ganun din, i-reverse lang natin yung entry natin na to. So, ito yon, binaliktad lang natin. Then, pakita natin na nakolekta natin nga yung previously written off na account. So, nag-debit cash tayo ulit and then credit accounts receivable. Okay? Okay. Question? Question po? So, just comment, no?
Wala.
Okay. Now, sir, kung yung allowance for bad debts ba? Ito, allowance for bad debts. This fall under what category sa ALEREX natin? Asset, liability, equity, revenue, or expense? Itong allowance for bad debts. Kasi itong bad debts expense, definitely expense account to. Itong allowance for bad debts, ano yan sa ALEREX? Asset ba yan? Liability?
Contra asset account.
Okay.
Asset, sir.
Asset yan, tama?
Opo.
Okay. Ito ang tanong. Sir, kung asset yan, bakit yung pagka-entry sa kanya, credit agad? Okay. Bakit
Kasi po, sir,
Okay?
Contra asset account.
Opo.
Okay. Very good.
Partner,
Kasi,
magka-partner na.
okay. So, let me explain. Kasi, itong allowance for bad debts, though asset account siya naman ay tinatawag na contra asset account. Contra account. Okay? Contra account pala yan, sir. Oo. Kasi pag sinabi natin contra account, these are account that reduces the value of its related account. Okay? It's contra asset account eh. So, kanino siya contra? Sa anong asset? Accounts receivable. Okay? Doon siya contra. Meaning, binabawasan niya yung accounts receivable. So, just additional information, no? We have contra asset that reduces the value of its related account. Then we have what we call adjunct account. When we say adjunct account, this account increases the value of its related account. So, later or in our next videos, baka ma-meet nyo yung mga example ng adjunct account. Okay? So, we will not concentrate with that. Okay? Now, yan. So, balik tayo dito sa allowance for bad debts. So, allowance for bad debts is a contra asset account. Kontra kanino? Kay accounts receivable. Now, in order to arrive to net realizable value of accounts receivable, itong nasa baba na formula. Okay? At gusto ko maging familiarize kayo din sa formula na yan, no? In order to arrive to the net realizable value of AR, binabawas natin yung allowance for bad debts from the outstanding balance of the accounts receivable. Okay? So, tandaan yan ha. Ito kasi yung dapat na makita pagdating sa financial statement, specifically sa statement of financial position or balance sheet. Tama? Kung ita-translate natin yung net realizable value, ito, no, sa Filipino, makatotohanang halaga. Diba? Parang ganun ang ibig sabihin niya, makatotohanang halaga. Ito yung amount ng receivables natin at its present condition. Okay? Paano natin maibibigay yung tinatawag na reliable information kung out of our receivables, di natin ibabawas yung mga accounts na doubtful tayo na makolekta. Tama po? So, dapat pagdating sa balance sheet, it should be presented as is. Ganito. Tama? If you have outstanding accounts receivable, then ilagay natin. If you have allowance for bad debts, then ilagay natin. Pero, bawas natin to arrive at net realizable value of the accounts receivable. So, remember that class, okay? No further question yet? Wala po bang tanong?
None po, sir.
Okay. Pag may hindi maliwanag, just just stop or just comment. Okay? So now, let's go deeply with the allowance method. Sabi natin, under allowance method, we use estimates. We determine rate, okay, to be multiplied based on revenues or sales kapag merchandising type of business tayo, on outstanding receivables, and based on aging of receivables. Ang tanong, papaano yun? Okay? Let's have example. Yan. Nakikita po? Nakikita po yung illustration?
Opo, nakikita po.
Okay.
Nakita po yung PowerPoint.
Okay, babasahin ko lang, no? Dito, ABC Enterprise has total service revenue of 5 million for the current year. Out of the 5 million, 1 million came from cash service revenues, in which customers immediately made payments upon providing service to them, while the remaining 4 million came from credit service revenues, in which customers allowed to pay their accounts at a later date for the service provided to them. During the year also, the company collected 3,200,000 from their credit customers. Allowance for bad debts in the previous year, as the beginning balance of the current year had a credit balance of 30,000 pesos. Okay. Anong requirement? Prepare adjusting entries for bad debts using allowance method based on Letter A, revenues. Letter B, outstanding receivables. Letter C, aging of receivables. So, papakita natin kung paano yung kinocompute under these criteria, no? Different criteria. Okay? Okay. So, prepare daw adjusting entries. Under allowance method, kung ang criteria natin ay based on revenue. At sabi, kapag based on revenue, the company policy on the required allowance for bad debts is 1% of the revenue. Under, ano sabi? Credit terms. Sige nga. Ano ang sagot natin? So, babalik ko lang dito sa problem. Kung based daw sa revenue, 1% ang gamit natin na rate. Magkano kaya yung doubtful accounts natin or bad debts expense natin? And sabihin natin kung anong adjusting entry. Anyone? Kung may sagot, comment, just comment. So, wala. Okay, sige. Okay, ganito. Ito yung sagot. How much is the bad debts or doubtful accounts? Ito yung sagot. Answer, 10,000. Nakikita po? 10,000. Okay. Ang tanong, paano nakuha? Okay. Sabi, may required allowance for bad debts for the current year. 40,000 daw. So, end of this current year, 40,000 yung magiging balanse ng allowance for bad debts natin. Okay? Paano daw nakuha? 4 million times 1%. Okay tayo sa 1% kasi sinabi niya dito yon, tama? Ito, sinabi niya dito yon. Okay? Pero siguro ang tanong mo, sir, how did you get the 4 million? Okay? How did you get the 4 million? Okay? Sabi kasi, 1% of the revenues under credit terms. So, babalik natin dito, no? Sa problem. Paano nangyaring 4 million yun? 4 million yun. Sabi mo kasi dito, sir, has total service revenue of 5 million. Di ba dapat 5 million? Ba't naging 4 million yun? Di ba? Sabi dito, sir, service revenue is 5 million for the current year. Okay. Bakit
May
naging
cash.
4 million? Okay. Sabi kasi niya dito, out of the 5 million, 1 million daw came from cash service revenues in which customers immediately made payments. Okay? Okay? Okay. So, itong 1 million, nung nakapag-render tayo ng service, nagbayad agad. Tama? Itong mga customers, for the 1 million, ito yung mga customers na nagbayad agad sa atin from the time we provide the service. Tama? Tapos yung remaining 4 million, ito yung mga customers natin na nakapag-render na tayo ng service pero hindi pa sila nagbayad. So meaning, on account pa lang. Receivable natin. So, question, di ba? Why we would base the computation of bad debts on the 5 million? Di ba, kaya nga natin sinasabing bad debts kasi based sa utang, based dun sa receivable natin. Dito sa 5 million, yung 1 million, di na natin receivable Kasi on the dot, nagbayad na si customer. So, ano na lang yung magiging receivable natin? Yung 4 million. Tama? Based on the credit customer. Yung mga credit customer, ito yung mga nakapag-provide tayo ng service sa kanila, then hindi pa sila nagbayad. While yung mga cash customer, ito yung nakapag-provide na tayo ng service sa kanila, then immediately, at the time the service provided, nagbayad agad sila. So technically, kapag sinabing revenues, iisipin din natin kung saan tayo magbe-base. Based ba dun sa cash service revenue or based dun sa credit service revenue? Of course, based dapat sa credit service revenue. Kasi dun lang tayo may possibility na hindi makakolekta. Gets po? Gets po yun?
Gets po, sir.
Kaya 4 million yung ginamit natin dito. So 1%, sabi natin, based sa revenue, na 4 million. Credit revenues kung tawagin. So, ito yung 4 million yan. And that is 40,000. Niles natin yung alin? Allowance for bad debts for previous year. Beginning balance of the current year. Diba? I don't know if you know it already. Yung mga real accounts kung tawagin, permanent accounts kung tawagin, mga balance sheet accounts kung tawagin. Pag sinabi natin balance sheet account, syempre nakikita natin sa balance sheet. Okay? So kapag may ending balance tayo doon, automatically it will be considered beginning balance of the following year. So sabi dito sa problem, meron daw allowance for bad debts in the previous year. So meaning, this year, current year, beginning balance natin yan. Beginning balance natin yan, okay? So, we have 30,000. Credit balance. Bakit credit balance? Kasi nga, di ba, ang allowance for bad debts kontra asset? Kung ang asset, normal balance niya, debit. So, ibig sabihin, kapag kontra asset, normal balance mo dapat credit. Kasi nga, kontra ka eh. Tama? Tama? So, allowance for bad debts, normal balance niyan, credit. Kasi it's a contra asset account. Okay? Now, meron tayong beginning balance. Then sabi, ang required na balance, 40,000. So, at the end of the year, dapat 40,000 yung allowance for bad debts natin. Eh, meron na tayong beginning balance sa 30,000. So, magkano na lang kulang? Magkano na lang dapat yung i-provide natin as bad debts expense for this year? 10,000 na lang. Tama? That's why you get 10,000. So,
Yes po.
tama, di ba? To prepare the adjusting entries, what's our entry? Pro forma entry, debit, bad debts expense, credit, allowance for bad debts. And how much? 10,000. So, this is the answer. Bad debts expense, 10,000. That's debit. Allowance for bad debts, 10,000. That's credit. Explanation, to adjust 1% of the credit revenues as bad debts. Okay? Question? Question po? Okay ha? Kung wala, diretso tayo. Next, based on the outstanding receivable. Okay, the company policy on the required allowance for bad debts is 6% of the outstanding accounts receivable. Okay, back to the problem. Dito ba may binanggit na accounts receivable? Meron po ba? May binanggit po ba? Pinaprocess lang po.
Wala po.
Wala pa po. Pero malalaman natin, tama? Malalaman natin if we will analyze and compute. Okay? So, basahin natin, no? So, dito pa lang, 4 million na yung receivable natin. Tama? Out of the revenue, 4 million yung receivable natin. Okay? Tapos sabi, during the year also, the company collected 3,200,000 from their credit customer. Ito nga yan, yung 4 million. So, 4 million minus 3,200,000, ibig sabihin, ang outstanding balance ng accounts receivable natin ay 800,000. Tama po?
800.
Tama, di ba?
Opo.
Okay. If we will journalize that, okay? Sorry. Dito muna tayo. If we will journalize that, ito mangyayari. To record the rendered service to customer. So, meron tayong cash, 1 million. Ito yung at the time na nag-provide tayo ng service, nagbayad agad. So, automatic cash yun. Then, debit, accounts receivable, 4 million. Ito yung mga utang muna. Then, credit, service revenue, total, 5 million. Tama? Now, sabi doon kanina, nakakolekta tayo ng 3,200,000 from the customer out of the credit customer. Okay? Yung sa 4 million. So, syempre, nakakolekta tayo, debit cash, 3,200,000. Then, bawasan natin accounts receivable by means of crediting it, 3,200,000. So, kung gagawin natin or ipapakita natin yung as of balance niya through T-account form, so may debit ka na 4 million, that's positive. Then, may credit kang 3,200,000, that's negative. So, pagbabangga mo sila, ibig sabihin, deduction. 4 million minus 3,200,000, you have 800,000 sa debit side. Kasi mas malaki yung nasa debit eh. So, debit side. So, outstanding accounts receivable, 800,000. Now, to compute yung bad debts expense and to know the adjusting entry, ito yon. Okay. Ano daw ang required allowance for bad debts for the current year? It should be 6% of what? Accounts receivable. And we know that accounts receivable is 800,000. Tama po? And 6% times 800,000, you have 48,000. That should be the balance at the end of the current year. Eh di ba, may beginning balance tayo ng allowance for bad debts? So, ibawas natin yon to know magkano lang yung naging provision for the current year. And 48,000 less 30,000, the answer is 18,000. So, bad debts or doubtful accounts expense for the current year is 18,000. To record as adjusting entry, you have debit, bad debts expense, 18,000. Credit, allowance for bad debts, 18,000. Explanation, to adjust 6% of the outstanding accounts receivable as bad debts. Question po. Nasusundan po? Nasusundan po?
Opo.
Okay, huwag mahiyang magtanong ha. Oo, kasi libre naman to eh. Okay? Sige. Pag pag may question, pwede magsalita or comment. Okay? Mas maganda yon para at least sulit naman yung pag-attend nyo dito. Tama? Okay? Anyway. Now, let's go with another criteria. Sabi daw, based on the aging of receivable. Okay. So, the company policy on the required allowance for bad debt is based on the aging of accounts receivable as presented below. So, yung 800,000 daw, ito yung breakdown niya. Tama? Yan yung breakdown niya. Napapansin nyo? Yan. May 190,000. Okay? May 200,000, 100,000, 130,000, 70,000, 60,000, 50,000. Total, 800,000. Okay? Then may corresponding rate yan daw for each, ang tawag nito? For each bracket. Yan. So, ang tanong, how much is the bad debts or doubtful accounts? And prepare the adjusting entry at the same time. Okay? Pero by the way, before computation, dito kasi sa aging of accounts receivable, kinaklasify natin yung accounts receivable according to its age. Okay? Gaano na ba katagal na yung receivable na yan from the time na nakapag-provide tayo ng service or nakabenta tayo ng goods kay customer? Kung merchandising type yung business. Now, sa method na to, kailangan malaman natin kung past due na ba yung customer accounts o hindi pa. Okay? At kung past due na, ilang days ng past due? Sir, ano po bang ibig sabihin ng past due? Okay? Sabi, past due is the number of days past the payment deadline. Okay? Maliwanag ba yun?
Opo.
Okay. Kapag lumagpas na sa date na dapat siya nabayaran, past due na yun. Okay? For example, nakapag-render ka ng service, no? O nakapag-render ng service ang business sa customer niya on account, of course, on account, on October 1. Okay? October 1 ha? Yun yung date of provision of service. Ngayon, ang polisiya ng business ay magbigay ng 30-day credit terms. So, dapat lalabas ang due date niya kailan? Kailan ang due date? Kung binibigyan ng company yung customer niya na magbayad within 30 days, kailan ang due date? Anyone? October 1 yung date ng pag-provide ng service. Then sabi ng or polisiya ng company is they give 30 days credit terms for the customer to pay. So kailan ng due date?
October 31.
That's correct, October 31. Tama? Yun ang due date. Tama? Okay. Now, sabihin natin, Today is November 25. Okay? Anong araw ngayon? November 25. Okay? Tanong, yung account na yun, yung scenario na yung kanina, considered past due na ba? Today is November 25 at hindi pa rin daw nagbabayad si customer. Okay? Past due na ba yun?
Opo.
Yes. Tanong, ilang days na past due na?
25 days.
Tama.
25.
25 days. Kasi nga, dapat nabayaran na yan on or before October 31. Pero till now, kunwari nga November 25, di pa bayad. So, tama, past due na siya. Starting from November 1 up to this day, November 25. So, past due of 25 days. Okay? Gets po yun? Anyway,
Opo.
back to illustration tayo. Okay? So, ayan. Kung mapapansin nyo, may kanya-kanya siyang rate. Now, this is my question. How much is the bad debts or doubtful accounts? Kaya bang computein? Kino-compute po? Before I reveal the answer? Let me know, no? Kung nagko-compute. And let me know kung kaya, no? Sorry. Yan. Magkano ang doubtful accounts expense or bad debts expense for this criteria? Paano gagawin dyan? Okay? So, kung wala, ako na munang sasagot. Okay? Here's the answer. So, paano nangyari yon? Ang required allowance daw, no, yung allowance for bad debts, magiging 37,000. Yan. Okay? Sir, paano nakuha yan? So, ganun lang din. Yung 200,000, tinimes lang sa respective rate niya. So, 200,000 times 2%, 4,000. That is the allowance for the bracket 1 day up to 30 days past due. Okay? The same with 31 to 60 days past due. May 100,000 tayo, tinimes lang natin sa 3%. And that is 3,000. Then, susunod na bracket, ganun din. We have 80,000 na receivable under 61 to 120 days past due. Tinimes natin sa 5% rate, we have 4,000. Tama po ba? Then, we have 70,000 times 10%. That is 7,000. 30,000 times 30%. That is, para malito. 30,000 times 30%, 6,000 ba?
9,000 po.
9,000. So, nagkamali tayo dito, okay? So, palitan na natin. Okay? Pinalitan ko. Okay? Then, we have 20,000 times 50%. Oh, mali ulit. Ano mangyari dito? It should be 10,000. Mali yung nag-prepare nito, okay? Anyway. So, ulitin na natin, no? Just to check. 200,000 times 2%, 4,000. Then, 3,000. Tama naman. 4,000. 7,000. 9,000. 10,000. So, magkano siya in total? Hindi na to 37,000. Tama? Magkano na yan? 4, 3, 7.
37.
37 pa rin?
Opo. Tama pa rin.
Tama pa rin pala.
Yes, sir. 37 pa rin.
Okay, 37,000 pa lang. So, mali lang yung, yung solution. Tama? Minsan, ganun tayo eh. Tama yung sagot, mali yung solution. So, iwasan natin yan, okay? So, and sorry for this, okay? Mali lang yung pagkasulat. So, tama rin pala, 37,000. Okay. So, we have the required allowance for bad debts for the current year, 37,000. Then, we deduct the beginning balance of the allowance for bad debts, 30,000. And that's why we have the budget expense for the current year as 7,000. Okay? Again, to record the adjusting entry for that, debit. Bago ko ilipat sa susunod na slide. Debit, budget expense, 7,000. Credit, allowance for bad debts, 7,000. So, ito yun. To adjust the bad debts based on aging of accounts receivable. Question? Question po?
None po.
Okay.
Wala po.
Maliwanag ba? Maliwanag po ba? As of now?
Opo.
Yes po.
Okay. I hope so, no? Sana maliwanag talaga. Okay. Now, syempre, itong mga information na nire-record natin sa General Journal, later on, it will be reflected in the financial statements. Now, kukunin natin yung criteria using the aging of the receivable for discussion purposes. So, sabi natin, yung budget expense, 7,000. Di ba? Ito yun. Nasaan ba yun? Ito, debit budget expense, 7,000. So, pagdating sa income statement, papakita mo doon, 7,000. Yung expense natin, budget expense natin. Tama? And pagdating sa balance sheet, remember, di ba sabi natin kanina, kailangan i-present natin yung makatotohanang halaga ng receivable sa financial statement. Specifically sa balance sheet. Sa accounts receivable natin, 800,000 yun, tama ba? Pero out of that, may allowance tayo for those na doubtful tayong makolekta. And that is 37,000. Ito yun. Saan yun? Yung required allowance for the current year. Ito. Yung na-compute natin. Tama? Yung na-compute natin kanina. So, niless natin yan from the outstanding balance ng... Nasaan yun? Ito. Niless natin yan sa outstanding balance ng accounts receivable na 800,000. Then we have allowance for bad debts na 37,000. Then we arrive with the net realizable value of 763,000. Okay? Importante kasing malaman kung ano yung makatotohanan ng halaga niyang receivable natin. Kasi there's a possibility na hindi makolekta na itong 37,000. That's why we should present it as this. Okay? Okay, maliwanag po? Maliwanag? Okay.
Yes po. Opo.
Another illustration. Dirin XYZ Enterprise recorded a total of 5 million accounts receivable on its record. The company established provision of doubtful accounts equal to 4% of the outstanding receivable. A customer who owed the company 80,000 experienced cash flow issues and had financial difficulties. After a month, the customer was declared bankrupt. However, the company was able to recover 10,000 after the customer's liquidation process. Ang requirement, prepare the necessary journal entries for this under direct write-off method and allowance method. So, kaya ba? Natatandaan ba yung kaninang pro forma entry natin? Yung kaninang discussion natin?
Tanda naman po.
Opo.
Ito yon. When account is doubtful to be collected, meron ba tayong entry pag direct write-off method?
No.
Wala, di ba?
Wala.
Kasi nga, di ba sabi natin pag direct write-off method, pag doubtful, o duda pa lang tayo, wala tayong i-record. Kasi nga pag direct write-off method, nire-record lang natin yung budget expense pag proven uncollectible na. That's the time na kapag yung customer, bankrupt na. So doon lang tayo magre-record. And for that reason, under direct write-off method, when account is doubtful to be collected, wala tayong adjusting entry. Okay? No adjusting entry or journal entry rather. Okay? Sa allowance method, doubtful tayo na makakolekta tayo. May entry na ba tayo?
Opo.
Meron na. So that is
Meron na po.
debit, budget expense, credit,
Expense.
But,
allowance for doubtful accounts. Ang tanong, magkano? No, alam na natin yung pro forma, but the question is how much? Balik tayo dito. Anong sabi niya? Provision of doubtful accounts equal to 4% of the outstanding receivable. 4% daw ng receivable. Magkano receivable natin? 5 million. Tama? And 4% of that is how much?
200,000.
200,000. Sorry. That's why we have debit bad debts expense 200,000, credit allowance for bad debts 200,000. Tama po?
Opo.
Next, when account is proven to be worthless under direct write-off method, may entry ba tayo?
Meron.
Meron, syempre. Kasi proven na eh. Write-off na natin dapat agad yan. Anong pro forma entry? Debit?
Bad debt expense.
Credit?
Accounts receivable.
Very good. Accounts receivable. Diretso na natin bawas. Wala na tayong allowance kasi nga direct write-off to. So, ang tanong, magkano? Balik tayo dito. A customer who owed the company 80,000 experienced cash flow issues and had financial difficulties. After a month, the customer was declared bankrupt. So, ibig sabihin, yung utang niyang 80,000, offset na natin. Write-off na natin, tama? And that is debit bad debts expense, 80,000. Credit accounts receivable, bawas agad, 80,000. Correct? Tama po?
Opo.
Okay. Now, pag sa allowance method, ito ang entry natin. Anong entry natin?
Debit allowance for bad debts, credit, accounts receivable.
That's correct. Amounting to 80,000 also. Tama? Kasi ito yung proven na worthless na. Proven na uncollectible na. Okay? Now, when accounts previously written off was recovered. Okay. Balik tayo ulit sa problem. After a month, however, the company was able to recover 10,000 after the customer liquidation process. So nung nagbenta na yung customer ng kanyang asset, no? Para lang may pambayad sa creditor, nabiyayaan yung company na kahit papaano mabigyan sila or mabayaran sila, amounting to 10,000 pesos only. Yun lang yung naibigay. After nun, wala na. So, how we will record that? Okay? Answer? Di ba kapag may na-recover tayo, yung kung anong entry natin dun sa nung nag-written off tayo ng accounts receivable, i-reverse lang natin. And then, ipapakita din natin yung collection na nangyari. So, eto yun. The answer will be debit, under direct write-off method, debit accounts receivable, 10,000 only, hindi 80,000. Okay? Kasi 10,000 lang yung na-recover eh. Okay? So, binaliktad natin kung mapapansin nyo, no? Yung bad debts, naka-debit dati, since na-recover natin, i-credit mo, baliktarin mo. Tapos yung accounts receivable, binawasan natin, nakakolekta tayo. So, balik mo rin sa accounts receivable. Then, since nakakolekta tayo, that's the time you debit cash, 10,000. Then, bawasan mo ulit ng accounts receivable, 10,000. That's our entry. Pagdating sa allowance method, halos parehas lang din. Except for the account title to be used. So, ayan. Debit accounts receivable tayo, 10,000. Pero ang credit natin, allowance for bad debts. Kasi ito yung ginawa natin nung yung account ay ma-prove na uncollectible na. So, babalik rin lang natin account titles. Pero, in the amount of 10,000 only. Then, to show the cash collection, debit cash, 10,000. Credit accounts receivable, 10,000. Maliwanag po? Maliwanag po? Question po? Question? Okay. May question po? Basically, ganun lang eh. Tapos na tayo.
Sir, may question po si Prince Lloyd Amora po.
Sige, sige. Ano yan? Posible po ba na i-debit po ang cash and credit po ang bad debts para isang entry na lang po? Balik tayo doon. I-ano natin, no? Okay. Posible ba? Yes, actually, posible. 'Di ba? Itong debit accounts receivable. O sige, dito na lang tayo. Sa allowance method kasi tayo. Debit accounts receivable, 10,000. Then we have here also credit. So kung may debit ka na 10,000, tapos may credit ka na 10,000, pwedeng offset. Tama? So lalabas kung isi-simplify mo yung entry, debit cash, credit allowance for bad debts, 10,000 pesos. Pero, okay, for the purpose of understanding what happened, it is advisable that you do this recording. Hindi yung biglaan. Okay? Hindi yung debit cash then credit allowance for bad debts. Mas magandang ganito na lang yung gawin natin para maliwanag sa kung sino man yung susuri ng entries natin. Okay? Mas ma-appreciate, mas maintindihan, kumbaga. Okay? Pwede naman ganun, pero basically ganito na lang ang gawin natin para mas maintindihan. Okay? Okay. Another question? Do you have question? Kasi tapos na tayo. For discussion purposes. Tapos na tayo. Yan. Kung wala kayong tanong, ako may tanong. For ano lang to? For review. Okay? For review. Okay. Review question. These are expenses associated with estimated uncollectible receivables. Letter A, accrued expense. B, depreciation. C, bad debts. D, prepaid expense. Answer?
Bad debt.
Debt.
Okay, obvious na obvious. Tama? Bad debts. So, letter C. Next question. Which of the following is incorrect? So, ang hinahanap natin, yung mali. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Letter A. Direct right of method recognize bad debts expense only when the account is proven uncollectible. Letter B. Allowance method uses estimated rate that can be multiplied based on revenues, outstanding balance of receivables, or on aging of the receivables. Letter C. Allowance for bad debts is an expense account. Letter D. All of the statements are correct.
C.
The answer is? Yun. The answer is C. Yun yung mali. Kasi ang allowance for bad debts, hindi expense account, bagkus contra asset account. Okay? Normal balance niyan, credit. Okay? Next. So, computation tayo. The following are the selected accounts extracted from the trial balance of Andale Company. So, madali lang to. Okay? Requirement. Prepare the necessary adjusting entry under each criteria. So, first criteria natin daw, sabi, provision for doubtful accounts is 2% based on revenues. So, madali lang to. What will be your entry? Adjusting entry. % daw, based on revenue.
$20,000.
Magkano?
20,000.
20,000. Tama po ba? 20,000. That's correct. So, paano nangyari yon?
1 million times 0.02.
Okay, 1 million times 2%. Okay, just to illustrate, no? So, meron daw tayong okay, medyo nagbabagal lang. Meron tayong 2 million 1 3 tapos sorry. Nakikita nyo ba yung ginagawa ko?
Opo.
Kakayan lang natin ng konti, no? Medyo mabagal lang. Yan. So, 2 million pala. 2 million, sorry. Tanggalin na natin yung yan. Base daw yung doubtful accounts expense ay 2%. Okay. So, 2% of 1 million. 1 million yan, tama?
Opo.
1 million, sorry, 1 million. So, that is 1 million. 2% niyan, magkano daw?
20,000.
20,000. So, that will be our bad debts. 20,000. Okay. What's our entry? What's our entry? Debit? What's our
Bad
entry?
debt.
It's correct. Bad debts expense 20,000. Okay. Tanggalin na natin yung peso sign. Okay. Credit,
Allowance.
allowance for bad debts. Just lang natin ito ng konti. Lagyan natin dito. Credit din, 20,000. Okay. So, balance tayo. Next. Provision for doubtful accounts is 8% based on outstanding receivable. 8% ng accounts receivable. So, magkano?
24,000.
Answer? 24,000.
24,000.
So, paano nakuha yun? So, magkano daw yung accounts receivable natin? 300,000.
300,000.
So, nasa na yun? Okay. We have 300,000. So, sulat natin. Times, anong percent?
8%.
8. So, 8%. The answer is 24,000. So, to record, debit bad debts expense, 24,000. Credit allowance for bad debts, 24,000. Okay? Madali lang po. Madali lang. Next. So, yan. Ganun din, prepared necessary adjusting entry under each method. Provision for doubtful accounts is based on the aging of the receivable provided below. So, ayun. May breakdown yung 300,000. Can you compute how much will be the doubtful accounts expense or bad debts expense?
$3,200.
Magkano?
200. 10. 18,100.
18,100?
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Opo.
18,100? Okay, ah. Sure yun? Sure? So, let's check.
Po.
Tingnan natin. So, sabi, lagyan na natin to ng total. Okay. Balik lang tayo. Saan yun? Okay. Sabi, yung current, of course, wala tayong provision na uncollectible dyan. Kasi current nga yan. Hindi pa nga naman siya past due. Yung 1 to 30 days past due, meron tayong 80,000. Then, ang provision natin, 4%. Sulat natin. 80,000, then 4%. Okay? So we have 3,200. Next is, yung 31 to 60 days past due, we have 70,000. Then ang provision rate natin dyan, 7%. So 70,000, then 7%. So the answer will be 4,900. Then the last breakdown natin or bracket natin is yung 61 to 120 days past due. That is 100,000. The estimated rate of the uncollectible accounts receivable is 10%. So sulat natin 100,000, then 10%. So we have 10,000. To sum up, you have 18,000. So that's the answer. Double rule. Okay, double rule natin. So to record the adjusting entry, bad debts expense, debit 18,000 dapat. 18,100. And credit, allowance for bad debts, 18,100 also. Okay? Maliwanag po yun? Maliwanag po? Sorry. Okay? Okay. Is there any question? We're done. Class, we're done. Is there any question? Clarification? Any concern? Meron po?
None po.
Wala. How about the others? Meron po? Is it clear, class? Is the discussion clear? Nag-gets
Yes
ba?
po. Opo.
Yes po.
So sana nakatulong talaga. So, okay. May nagtanong dito eh. Ano daw yung next topic? Sana ba yun? Next topic natin, depreciation. Same time. Okay? Okay.
Chat po, sir.
So, next topic natin, depreciation, no? Same time yan, okay? So, if you don't have any question, so, I think that's all for today, no? Salamat po sa pag-attend ng free live webinar natin. First day of live webinar natin. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Good night,
you.
sir. Thank
Okay,
you
good
po.
night.
Thank you
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you po, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, kailan po ay mag-upload ng video sa YouTube?
After this week siguro. Okay. After this week. Bali, susundan natin yung prepare journal entries, prepare, posting to ledger accounts, then preparing trial balance. Nagkataon na una yung adjusting entries natin, tama? So, dudugtungan natin yung naputol na uploaded video dun sa YouTube natin. So, after this week, possible, makakapag-upload na ako ng continuation ng series natin sa YouTube. Okay? So, sana mag-subscribe din kayo, no, for those na hindi pa. Okay? So, that's all. Thank you, class. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you po.